Hey guys, what is up? My name is Ian and welcome to Tokenomics. Today we're going to be doing a price analysis and technical analysis of the Oasis Network's Rsoe token. So first of all, why did this come to my attention and why is it something that should probably be on your radar too? Well, first of all, they've got an absolutely stellar CEO and co-founder in Dawn Song. Just down here, she's the most cited scholar in computer security, serial entrepreneur, and has spent significant time researching and building security and privacy technology, specifically in the areas of software, networking, distributed systems, applied cryptography, blockchain, smart contracts, and machine learning. So yeah, a busy lady for sure. Secondly, in terms of the investors, I think it's the fourth most backed by venture capitalists project in blockchain. So we've got some stellar names here as well: Polychain Capital, Pantera, Binance, Huobi Global, I can never say that right, Hashed, and did I see Coinbase Ventures? No, must have been imagining it. But yeah, a stellar list of backers nonetheless. To touch on the tech briefly, it's kind of can be compared a little bit to the Polkadot system, where the relay chain sits at the center and is used for consensus, and the parachains build out from there and are used for transactions. So in terms of the actual Rsoe token, there is 1.5 billion tokens in circulation, and the total cap is fixed at 10 billion tokens. Now, because it is the native token of the network, there's clear utility there. I mean, it's used for transaction fees, staking, and delegation in the consensus layer. So, you know, it's not some Fugazi token that doesn't have any real use cases. To go on to the technicals before I move into the kind of tokenomics and price analysis, and I just want to shout out my friend Gomez here, who marked up a chart for me. I just copied it across to TrendSpider. If you like TrendSpider, check it out. I'll give you a link in the description for a discount to sign up. He runs a Casper price chat group and a Graph price chat group, which I'll drop in the description, as well as doing regular technical analysis on Bitcoin and a number of other projects on his Twitter. And you can also find him here in our Telegram as well. So I'll drop all those links in the description, and ours is good for, you know, ICOs, IDO drops, and NFTs as well. So we're working on staying on top of all of those, because there's obviously a lot going on in crypto. So if we get to the chart, what Gomez, his take on this, and he looks at charts quite differently to me, so I added in a couple of my favorite anchored VWAPs here as well. But it's a descending wedge, which if it breaks to the upside is ultimately bullish. It does look like we've just broken kind of through this level of support here from this previous high, and was touched a couple of times here just below 15 cent. We've retraced about 60% at the moment from the all-time highs, and we sit below the VWAP, a descending volume weighted average price from the peak, a descending volume weighted average price from the run-up, and a flattening out to declining volume weighted average price from the low on June 24th, which is, like, you know, the most recent low till back in January. The market cap currently is about 232 million, which does give room for growth. And if this 14.5 level breaks, the next kind of level of support is down here around 12 cent. When we first looked at this chart, it was looking like it might bounce up from here, but now it's looking like it's breaking below. So in terms of the chart, like, you would want to see a breakout to the upside on this wedge, but we have, you know, numerous levels of both static and dynamic resistance in the way, including this VWAP, this level here from these previous highs at 17 cent, and the two declining VWAPs here as well. So Gomez did speculate a little bit as to what might happen. We might see a further drop off before a run up, not making it to all-time highs, then a retrace down, and then potentially a break to the upside. But actually, if we look at the token metrics and distribution of the project, so just to go through it, staking rewards are pretty high at the minute. You get, I think, 20% annual, and this is declining consistently over the years, so less and less staking rewards. 23% to backers, 20% to the core contributors, which is the team. Foundation endowment at just 10% is quite low, and community ecosystem 18.5%, and strategic partners and reserve 5%. But the really key point here is, if we go down here, and it's another reason when I originally looked at this, it looked to me like this massive increase in supply was coming in on October 18th because it looked like it sat in between those two, but as always, double checked with the guys in the Telegram. And it's actually November, on or around November 18th, we're seeing supply go from what it doesn't look like it on the graph, but what they're saying at the minute is 1.5 billion up to around 3 billion. So a massive supply shock incoming on this token. So yeah, something like definitely to keep an eye on. Stellar team, stellar backers, a token that, if I just pull another quote from one of the guys, Bob Gill, in another Telegram I'm in, may appeal to many businesses, especially those in user data handling, adverts, and medical too, given the privacy and data focused nature of the chain. It's quite a niche project, right? But with that supply shock coming in on November 18th, it's certainly something that if you're holding, you need to be paying close attention to that. And yeah, also the chart as well. I mean, perhaps, you know, we've seen with what's happened with BTC, obviously a general market sell-off, but also this sell-off could well be due to the fact that a lot of the holders know what's coming. Certainly the VCs know what's coming, right? And it's the fourth most heavily backed VCs. So particularly in the case of this token, I would pay attention to these anchored VWAPs. It's a tool that's regularly used, heavily used by institutions. And yeah, for me personally, not financial advice ever on this channel, just something that definitely piqued my interest in terms of the fundamentals of the project. But given the token release schedule, and obviously the sharp sell-off we've seen, even if we saw a break to the upside here, I'm not sure it's something that I'd be confident in trading for either a swing trade or a long-term hold before we see what happens with that supply shock coming in on the 18th of November. So that's the general thoughts, quick price analysis on Oasis, only giving you guys what you need. Please sub to the channel if you enjoy the content and you appreciate the concise research, yada yada yada. Love you guys. See you later.